here is my take, or review, as promised, of Halloween 2. Now, I did manage to see both the theatrical and the director cut, but for some reason I don't understand why they keep doing this. The theatrical and the director's cut, why can't they put them both on the same disc, or at least in the same pack? Call me crazy, and that would make it a lot easier. At least that way you could. At least that way you could pick and choose which one you want to watch from time to time. I, for one, enjoyed the theatrical cut in some ways better than the director's cut, because as hard as Rob Zombie tried with the second one, he did not. He made a couple different scenes a lot longer than necessary, and the second one, as good as it is, both theatrical and the director's, I have to say that I like the theatrical better, but that's just me. That having been said, I got through the first 45 minutes of it in theaters in 2009, but the so-called friend of mine, to say the least, I don't want to say he chickened out, but he was so disgusted he pretty much made us leave after 45 minutes of it. But I don't want to go into that because it's too far in the past, and I don't even want to focus on that with this. After it came to DVD, I did indeed. I think I ended up buying it, but the director's cut was the only one. That was the only one available at the time. So basically, I got the chance to see both versions, one somewhat after the other, if you will. But for me, the theatrical cut worked just as well, if not better, than the director's cut. Sorry, Rob. On that note, once again, the characters, both new and old, and yes, Rob did add some new characters to this one that were not in the original sequel, based on John Carpenter's work. But I think that they made it look like it was going to be a duplicate of the original sequel. Let's just say it isn't, to say the least. With this sequel, Rob pretty much started it off with Laurie Strode being transferred to the Haddonfield Hospital. I don't think it was the clinic this time, I think it was the hospital. And the surgery they had to do on her, well, considering as you're not even sure exactly what Michael Myers' motive is for trying to find Laurie Strode in this one. I mean, is he trying to kill her, or is he trying to restart the family? Your take's as good as mine. Although there were certain clues leading up to Michael Myers' true motivation for trying to find Laurie Strode. More so in the first one, because there was a backstory between Laurie and Michael. And just like in this one, Michael has, in case you've noticed from the trailers, Michael has different spooky visions of his mother, played by Rob Zombie's wife, and at least in this, both the first one and this one, and Lords of Salem, at least in this, I think Sheri Moon Zombie can act. I think she can. I'm sorry, but I can. But I do. I think she can. That having been said, I do think she did a nice job in this one, as well as the first one, as Michael's mother, because if nothing else, she tried to create the arc between everyone else within the family, as well as people that tormented Michael, and the fact that she didn't, and she loved Michael Myers despite his homicidal rampage and tendencies, to say the least. But I think if nothing else, she did try to love him, and I think in his own way he returned that. As much as the first one could have been the only one that Rob Zombie did with Michael Myers, I'm actually glad with what he came up with for the sequel. The theatrical cut and the director's cut, once again, I'm going too far for repetition. The theatrical cut and the director's cut, to me, they both work, but in some ways, the theatrical one, at least for me, worked better. But I don't want to go too much further into that. All I can tell you is, with this one, Laurie Strode, both the theatrical and the director's cut, Laurie Strode, because of her last encounter with Michael Myers, let's just say she starts to go crazy. And that is putting it mildly. Once again, Scout to Compton does a very good Laurie Strode. Malcolm McDowell tries to cash in on the history of Michael Myers and his family in this one. In the first one, he was writing a book about Michael Myers and his rampage of evil, and of course destruction and carnage. But in the first one, he was writing a book more about Michael Myers himself, because of his encounters with Michael Myers in the penitentiary. And in the sequel, well, let's just say he has a motive that starts off kind of self-centered, but he almost redeems himself in the sequel. Let's put it at that. And Sheriff Brackett, once again played by Brad Dourif, and Annie, played once again by Daniel Harris. Both of these movies by Rob Zombie, in my opinion, they work. They really, really do. Because if nothing else, they made Michael Myers pretty doggone frightening, and to a degree, foreboding and menacing. But that's just me. There are other people out there that seem to feel that Rob Zombie's take on Halloween was downright ridiculous. But I must be one of those that disagrees with not just the first one, but also the second one. Like I said, I don't know how many people are going to agree with me on this or my review on the first one by Rob Zombie. But like I said, try taking them on their own merits. Don't read my comments before watching the movies. Please, personally, I would watch the movies and then read and then watch my comments or my videos, for that matter. And then give your 2 cents on my comments, one way or the other. Thank you for your time, and enjoy. Thank you.